not according to the Shastras. So is this criticism a shallow way of obstructing the ceremony, or is it really rooted in Shastras? There is another aspect that has not changed. Then Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru was opposed to the idea of the reconstruction of the Somnath temple. He tried to discourage then President Rajendra Prasad from attending the consecration ceremony. But Dr. Prasad was present in person to witness the making of history. BJP argues that Congress is declining the Ram Mandir invite today and calling it a BJP RSS event purely because of the same Nehruvian mindset. So is history merely repeating itself? Is the opposition to the Prime Minister's presence at Pran Pratishtha just a repeat of the Nehruvian mindset witnessed during Somnath ceremony? We take that question to our guests in just a bit. But let me first draw some parallels between the two. As I mentioned, from Somnath to Ram Mandir in Ayodhya, there seem to be many similarities from the Pran Pratishtha event to the opposition to it. So remember, Somnath temple was restored in 1951 post-independence. It is something then leaders had took upon themselves, unlike what happened in other holy sites. The Ram temple is being rebuilt since 2019 post the Supreme Court judgment. There's a difference here, of course, in how these things panned out. Now, in the 1951 ceremony of Somnath temple, the Pran Pratishtha was held after the Garbhagriha was ready, the Sanctum Sanctorium. Similarly, in 2024, the Pran Pratishtha is also taking place after the Garbhagriha is being completed. At that time, it is important to note that even the Somnath temple remained incomplete when that consecration ceremony happened. In 2024, that's the same case. Some are objecting to it, but there is clearly a precedent to this in 1951 when it came to Somnath temple. Now, of course, rituals and vidhi could be different according to different sects and even according to different temples. Then President Dr. Rajendra Prasad had held that event. As I mentioned, Pandit Nehru was not very keen on that, but he did attend that event. He did present the lotus flowers, after which the Shivling Pran Pratishtha took place in Somnath temple. And this time around, it's not the President but the current Prime Minister Narendra Modi who will be helming this event. And here's when things get even more interesting. Then Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru had objected to Rajendra Prasad being a part of this ceremony. Today's Congress too is raising questions over the Prime Minister's presence during Pran Pratishtha. So is it that there is a problem in the way things are happening, or is it really more of the same ideologies? There seems to be a clear precedent as far as these ceremonies are concerned. What hasn't changed is the ideology opposing it, or is it just a difference of ideology? Because clearly there was a precedent in a secular, in a member of a secular government being at helm of a ceremony like this, whether it was the President then or the Prime Minister now. So that's the question we take to our guests. Opposition to the Prime Minister's presence at this event, is it merely a repeat of Somnath taking place in Ayodhya?
राम मंदिर में राम मंदिर की इनॉग्रेशन में अगर जाना चाहते हैं तो जाना चाहिए, निमंत्रण है। राम थोड़े भारतीय जनता पार्टी की प्राइवेट प्रॉपर्टी है।
22 तारीख का जो कार्यक्रम है उसमें पहले ही हमारे चारों शंकराचार्य ने जाने से इनकार कर दिया है। क्यों? क्योंकि वो मोदी जी अपना व्यक्तिगत कार्यक्रम बना रहे हैं और प्राण प्रतिष्ठा भगवान तो ऑलरेडी वहाँ बैठे हुए हैं।
मस्जिदों की हिफाजत करिए। मौजूदा दौर में जो हुक्मरान हैं वो पूरी कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि मस्जिदों को गैराबाद कर दिया जाए, मस्जिदों की अहमियत को कम करके रख दिया जाए।
मैं पुनः कहूँगा, देवताओं के इस पुण्य कार्य में जहाँ पर हवन पूजा इत्यादि होता हो, पहले भी होता था, वहाँ राक्षस पहुँचकर अस्थि कलश गिरा देते थे, अस्थि गिराते थे। तो हमको अस्थि की जरूरत नहीं है।
Now, the four Shankaracharyas of Hindu Dharma are not attending this ceremony, and a lot has been said that they are unhappy or upset with the vidhi vidhan used as far as this ceremony is concerned. They believe that the ceremony is not taking place according to the Shastras and the Vedas. I have one such Shankaracharya, Dwarkapith Shankaracharya, Sadanand Saraswati, joining me now. Let's take that question to him. शंकराचार्य जी, हमसे बात करने के लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। सबसे पहले तो बहुत चर्चा हो रही है कि शंकराचार्य इसलिए नहीं जा रहे हैं राम मंदिर प्राण प्रतिष्ठा में क्योंकि बहुत लोग कह रहे हैं कि ये रीजन है या वो रीजन है। मैं सबसे पहले आपके शब्दों में जानना चाहती हूँ कि आप क्यों नहीं जा रहे हैं इस इवेंट में?
नहीं, हम लोगों को प्रसन्नता है, कार्यक्रम संपन्न हो रहा है और वो निर्विघ्न संपन्न हो ऐसी मंगल कामना भी है और हम लोग भी बाद में दर्शन करने के लिए जाएंगे। अभी प्रतिष्ठा के अवसर पर जाना संभव नहीं हो पा रहा है क्योंकि हम लोगों के साथ भी बहुत लोग होते हैं और वहाँ लोगों को सीमित अर्थात अव्यवस्था ना हो जाए एतदर्थ ऐसी व्यवस्थाएं बनाई गई होंगी, तो उस मर्यादा का ध्यान रखने के कारण जाना नहीं हो रहा है। बाकी सभी राम भक्त हैं और हम लोगों को इस विषय में कोई समाज को इस विषय में कोई संदेह नहीं करना चाहिए। बाद में सब जाने वाले ही हैं।
जी जी, लेकिन ऐसे भी चर्चा हो रही है कि ये जो पूरी सेरेमनी है ये विधि विधान के हिसाब से नहीं हो रही है, अधूरे मंदिर में प्राण प्रतिष्ठा हो रही है जो लोग मानते हैं कि सही नहीं है। तो क्या ये भी रीजन हो सकता है कि आप नहीं जा रहे हैं?
सनातन धर्म में, हिंदू धर्म में विधि निषेध का पालन होता है, शास्त्र की मर्यादा का पालन होता है, आचार्यों का उत्तरदायित्व होता है, शंकराचार्यों का उत्तरदायित्व होता है कि धर्म शास्त्र के अनुसार चलें और समाज को भी देश को भी चलावें।
एक बात ये भी निकल के आई है, ये सवाल मैं आपसे पूछना चाहती हूँ कि जब सोमनाथ मंदिर दोबारा बनाया गया था 1951 में, वहां पे भी प्राण प्रतिष्ठा की गई थी और तब भी वो जो मंदिर था अधूरा था, अर्ध निर्माण था, वो पूरा नहीं बना था। तो क्या ये कहना सही है कि अधूरे मंदिर में, अर्ध निर्माण मंदिर में प्राण प्रतिष्ठा नहीं होनी चाहिए?
उस समय सरदार वल्लभ भाई पटेल उसमें गए हुए थे
जी,
और वो अधूरा था कि पूरा था ये तो हमें जानकारी पूरी तरह से नहीं है। आप बता रहे हैं कि अधूरा था वो, लेकिन अब ये इन विषयों पर चर्चा करने का अवसर कहाँ है? संकल्प हो चुका है, अच्छा काम हो रहा है, इसको होने देना चाहिए। जी,
और इसी से जुड़ी हुई ये भी बात है कि उस वक्त हमारे देश के जो प्रेसिडेंट थे, राष्ट्रपति थे, वो गए थे, राजेंद्र प्रसाद, जब सोमनाथ में प्राण प्रतिष्ठा हुई थी तो वो उसका हिस्सा बने थे। आज की तारीख में प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जा रहे हैं, तो क्या ये कोई विवाद का विषय है कि वहां पे प्राइम मिनिस्टर को होना चाहिए या नहीं होना चाहिए?
काशी के विद्वानों द्वारा पूरा कार्यक्रम संचालित हो रहा है। धार्मिक अनुष्ठान काशी के और दक्षिण भारत के विद्वानों द्वारा संचालित किए जा रहे हैं। प्रधानमंत्री जी भारत देश के प्रधानमंत्री हैं तो जा सकते हैं, जाना चाहिए।
जी, तो आप नहीं मानते हैं कि कोई विवाद होना चाहिए इस पे कि प्रधानमंत्री जा रहे हैं या नहीं, या ये विधि विधान से हो रहा है या नहीं, प्राण प्रतिष्ठा अधूरे मंदिर में हो रही है या नहीं? बट मैं ये बहुत बड़ा एक मौका है, बहुत बड़ा सपना देशवासियों का पूरा हुआ है कि राम मंदिर अब बन गया है और प्राण प्रतिष्ठा के एक दिन बाद से नए मंदिर में दर्शन भी शुरू हो जाएंगे। तो इस मौके पे आप क्या कहना चाहेंगे, ये जो समय आया है?
नहीं, ये समय बहुत अच्छा आया है। हम लोग और हमारे आचार्यों की, शंकराचार्यों की, हमारे गुरुजी की भी बहुत इच्छा थी कि राम जन्मभूमि में जो भव्य और दिव्य राम मंदिर का निर्माण हो और उसमें गर्भगृह में शास्त्रों के अनुसार कौशल्या की गोद में भगवान श्री राम छोटे शिशु रूप में विराजमान हो और हम लोग उनका दर्शन करें। व्यापक ब्रह्म निरंजन निर्गुण विगत विनोद सोई यज भक्ति प्रेम वश कौशल्या की गोद, वह अवसर हम लोगों को प्राप्त होगा। सभी को प्रसन्नता है, जिनको नहीं है उन्हें प्रसन्न होना चाहिए।
लेकिन कुछ लोग तो यही समझ रहे हैं कि शंकराचार्य प्रसन्न नहीं है इसीलिए आप लोग नहीं जा रहे हैं, तो उन लोगों को आप क्या कहना चाहेंगे, क्या मैसेज देंगे उनको?
हाँ, वो उनका ज्ञान अधूरा है।
जी, उनका ज्ञान अधूरा है। ओके, सदानंद सरस्वती शंकराचार्य जी, हमसे जुड़ने के लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। आप अपनी शब्दों में खुद ही बता रहे हैं कि क्या मसला है क्या नहीं है। हमसे बात करने के लिए बहुत धन्यवाद। ऑन दैट नोट, लेट मी ऑल्सो ओपन दिस अप टू आवर अदर गेस्ट जॉइनिंग अस। Anila Singh, spokesperson of the BJP, Professor Geeta Bhatt, academician and RSS thinker, Tehseen Poonawalla, political analyst, leans towards the Congress party, and Professor Dinesh Vashni, leader of the CPI, all joining us. Professor Dinesh Vashni, let me ask you, a lot was made about the Shankaracharyas not going for the event. I just spoke to one such Shankaracharya, and he's not willing, to take the line that political leaders are taking, that they have a problem with the PM's presence there or with the manner this ceremony is taking place. Was the opposition, including the left and the Congress, a little bit premature to jump onto these conclusions?
No, Shivani, I do not want to go into the controversy on behalf of my party into the Shankaracharya's going or not. Our only point of view is that this is Ram Mandir inauguration, and Ram Mandir movement itself since its inception is a political movement of the BJP and RSS to capture the power and to polarize the votes in a communal manner.
But
this
sir,
has happened and this is happening now even.
But sir, your statement is factually so incorrect. The Ram temple movement or the desire of the Hindu public in the country to have a Ram temple there, the court case itself precedes the BJP. The BJP wasn't even born at that time. And this case, this matter, this conflict precedes even the RSS.
Look, the Vishwa Hindu Parishad is a brainchild of RSS. There are 110 organizations, these type of organizations supported by the Vishwa Hindu RSS throughout the country. They are used one or the other organization for these communal purposes. This temple movement itself has brought the BJP from 2 member of parliament to 311 member of parliament. So they have got a roti कि अब हर बार इसी की रोटी पकाएंगे. So that is our objection. As far as the faith of the people of India in the God Ram is concerned, everybody know that it has been misused and utilized by the BJP, RSS in favor of their vote polarization. That is our objection.
No, that may be your objection, but the reality of the Ram temple and its desire has nothing to do with just the RSS or the BJP. It's a 100-year-old history, and I'm sorry to say, but even on a day like today, how can you disregard that history?
Shivani, over 1 lakh Ram temples are existing in Hindi belt, Hindi patti.
So
every gully and nook and corner have one or the other temple of the Ram temple and other Hindu god and goddesses. There is no objection to that. Nobody has ever objected.
So what is the objection to the Ram temple? So then you do. No, I'm sorry, Professor Dinesh Vashni, then your objection is not to the BJP taking political benefit. Your objection is directly to the Ram temple. Then accept it. Why are you bringing other temples into it?
Look, the Ram temple inauguration has been made by Prime Minister Modi in a manner that it is a BJP event.
That's a separate issue.
The opposition leaders, why are you not going? Why are they not inviting Advani ji and Murli Manohar Joshi?
Advani ji is going.
Why are they not inviting the Murli Manohar Joshi and Advani ji?
Advani ji is going.
Why have they thrown them away?
But you're not listening to what I'm saying.
That is after a lot of pressure.
L.K. Advani is going for the ceremony despite his old age. Okay, but I'm not asking you that question. You cannot use, one second sir, you cannot use the presence or the absence of 1 or 2 individuals to take away the very faith of the public as far as this site is concerned. You just said that there are hundreds of Ram temples in North India, nobody has an objection. So by virtue of saying that you have an objection to this temple, right? You find it illegitimate, say it.
We have no
You cannot play it both ways.
Temple.
You cannot say we respect the faith of Hindus and then also object to the temple.
No, we respect the faith, we respect every temple, but we disrespect the political utilization of the faith and belief of the people as it is been done by Prime Minister Modi, BJP and RSS.
Okay, the BJP representative will respond to that, but I wasn't asking you that question particularly. Tehseen Poonawalla, I want to ask you before I go to Anila Singh. There is a precedent that has come to light from the Somnath Mandir. I mentioned this at the start of the show. Then President Rajendra Prasad was part of that ceremony despite objection from then Prime Minister. Let's just face it, there is no secularism coming under threat by the head or a representative of a quote-unquote secular government being part of this event. It is just a difference of opinion and a difference of ideologies. And you cannot argue, or the Congress cannot argue, that everything will run according to Nehruvian principles only, whether they are in power today or not. They've got to move on.
Shivani, at the onset, first of all, a very, very happy Makar Sankranti and all festivities to you, to all our fellow panelists, to all your viewers. And in Pune, where I am today, we say, Til Gud Gya and Gud Gud Bola. So let's talk sweetly. So very, very happy festivities to you. You're right. Nehruvian principles should not come into question right now, simply because Nehruji constructed the Somnath temple. That's a debate we'll get into another day.
No,
I don't
he
want to
did
get into
not.
the history. He did. If I see, Shivani will divert because I want to stick to the Ram temple.
Okay, sure.
But I know my history. We'll get that. He did. He actually constructed it, and it was constructed by somebody from Pune, Gadgil ji. But that's a separate history. We'll go into that some other day. We will do a special show and invite me. And I want to ask you two questions with a lot of respect. Like you rightly said, that the Honorable President of India then, Dr. Rajendra Prasad, went to the Somnath temple. The President of India is the head of our constitution. Today, whatever your religious belief may be, the Ram temple, you and I, Shivani, believe is a civilizational movement for our country. Why isn't the President of India there? She wasn't even invited at our parliament, she isn't there. I'm asking you as an Indian, let's leave politics aside. Shouldn't our President have been there now? You rightly said, Shivani, I have a lot of respect for you. 500 years of struggle. Who fought this? You said, Shivani, I'm quoting you. No RSS, no VHP, no Bajrang Dal, no BJP. Who fought it? The Nirmohi Akhada. And as I speak, the Nirmohi Akhada people have WhatsApped me. You know, their representatives, their manants, their saints are not even invited inside the pious area. They're not there. You've called communists, you've called actors, the ones who actually fought this battle. The Nirmohi Akhada. The Honorable Supreme Court gave them a seat. They were the owners of this land. The title dispute, the land's gone to them. Where are they? Look, today the VHP is distributing invites. It's a political outfit. You know it. You know it, and I know it, Shivani. Let's not take away from that. Why couldn't the Nirmohi Akhada distribute it? They fought this battle. They are the ones who gave their lives. They are the ones who started this movement. Today they have been sidelined.
Okay, but is the Congress's objection? No, is the Congress's objection, as far as I understand, you can nitpick as much as you want. No 100% satisfaction can be achieved in a country of 1.4 billion, but I'll take your points to the BJP representative. If they have completely hogged this event, which is a relevant criticism coming their way. But the question I'm asking you, Tehseen, is a little bit different. A lot of criticism is taking place, and people who don't even believe in Hindu faith, suddenly they're acting like they do everything in life only according to the directions of the four Shankaracharyas in this country. Suddenly the Shankaracharya's word is supreme to them. Leave that hypocrisy aside. They're suggesting that this temple is incomplete, therefore Pran Pratishtha should not have happened. There seems to be a precedent, not just in this Somnath, but also in some other temples. They seem to suggest that this is a political event because the PM is going. Actually, I believe the President is also invited on 21st. She's kick-starting the Pran Pratishtha, which happens the day before, but I'll leave that aside. Then President was part of it, then PM didn't want it. Today, the Prime Minister is not of the Nehruvian mindset. Today, the Prime Minister wants it. If we assume that in 1951 situation was different, who knows, maybe then Prime Minister would have joined that event. It's only because Pandit Nehru himself was of a particular inclination and belief that things went a certain way. This is not to say that what's happening today is wrong.
Okay, but then let's take your argument slightly further. Let's believe those who don't believe in Bhagwan Sri Ram or Maryada Purushottam Sri Ram are today putting up an act. Let's accept it. The communists, and I have a lot of respect for Dinesh, Professor Sabia, why are they invited there? What have their belief? Why are the atheists? Why are these actors and models and all of them being called there? What is there? At least those who fought should have been felicitated. And
I get your point. I'm not taking away from that point. My point is largely the opposition that is coming from the Congress party. Their official release said this is a political event and a BJP RSS event. But let's face it, the government of the day being part of such an event, one is neither unprecedented and fundamentally you cannot prove that it is wrong in any way.
Yes, but what is wrong is when the BJP removes posters of opposition leaders saying you are not coming. That's politicization. When they remove a poster which they have to withdraw after our criticism, where they show the honorable Prime Minister bigger than Lord Ram. That is wrong. That politicization is wrong. Look, Shivani, kan or shan mein Shri Ram. If someone does not go on 22nd, they'll go on 23rd, 24th, 25th. Who is the BJP? Who the hell are they? They were not even born to remove posters about opposition and show Prime Minister bigger than Lord Ram.
Okay.
That is the objection.
So your objection is purely that the BJP is making too much
is doing politics.
Is doing politics on this, but you do not have any objections, and I don't know whether you can speak for the entire Congress ecosystem today, but you don't have an objection to the Prime Minister being at this event. Because that's what the Congress's objection is.
This is a cultural event. Forget the religious part. It's also a cultural event. It's India's cultural revival. So good the Prime Minister is going.
Okay.
I have an objection the President's not going. I have a bigger objection.
Okay, Anila Singh, please respond to this. This is a criticism coming in not just from your detractors politically, but even several other people. For example, some of the Shankaracharyas have suggested that this is becoming a political event, which is why they're staying away. They may not articulate it in as many words today. That's a separate matter. There are akhadas like the Nirmohi Akhada who feel left out, when they were the ones who actually fought and protected this land and kept this fight going. What justifies leaving all of them behind and making this into a government Modi show?
My Ram to all, and the invitations are going from Ram Mandir Trust. Bharatiya Janata Party is not sending invitations to anyone. And it is a religious occasion, not cultural. Let me correct Mr. Tehsin Poonawala here. Our Prime Minister has said that it is a very good, it is a...
And, sorry,
please,
I said religious and
no,
cultural.
Tehsin,
I'm very sorry to interrupt. I don't like to interrupt.
I'm just saying. Talking and
I don't like to interrupt. I'm just saying.
I will not let you speak now.
Sure, ma'am, but I'm just saying.
Let her complete.
All are, every Sanatani.
Even religion is a part of culture. Historically in India, religion is a part of culture.
Bharatiya Janata Party, it is the event of Sanatan. It is the victory of Sanatanis. You better understand that. Though our Prime Minister has said कि बहुत अच्छा मुहूर्त है, बहुत अच्छा काम होने वाला है, आप लोग कड़वा मत बोलिए, but I have to show the hatred of Congress Party towards Sanatan. 1947, this Congress Party let so many Hindus get slaughtered. This Congress Party's Prime Minister, Chacha Nehru, he said, nahi, koi Somnath Mandir ka koi renovation nahi hoga, and I'm not going to participate in that because whole of the country is going through poverty and we should not waste money on getting Somnath temple renovated. Thanks to President Dr. Rajendra Prasad ji. It started, the renovation work started, and today we see such grand Somnath temple. And at that time, Indian ambassador in China, you know what did he say? He was very loved one of Jawaharlal Nehru ji. All the ambassadors throughout the world, a message was sent by Somnath Temple Trust that please send holy water of all the rivers from the world and Mati of each and every country, and that will be used in Pran Pratishtha in Somnath Temple. And Panikkar, who was the Indian ambassador in China, he said, ये क्या तमाशा है, हम लोगों को बिल्कुल लोग दुनिया में क्या सोचेंगे? And he asked Jawaharlal Nehru ji that please let me know that such request has been sent to all ambassadors throughout the world, or it has been sent to me, and it should be stopped immediately.
Okay. But you didn't answer the question I asked you. Anila ji, I get the point. But what about the fact that the BJP today, once again, BJP may not be sending the invitations, but let's face it.
They are telling us and preaching us that what Shankaracharya are saying or not.
No, forget that. But what, is it not true? Is it not true that this is becoming a BJP event? Everything about this is becoming about Prime Minister Modi or the BJP. Even those you should have taken along. Not just the Shankaracharyas, but other akhadas who have a claim to the fight for the Ram temple. They feel left out.
Do you think that this is the work of Bharatiya Janata Party or RSS?
So who is responsible for this?
No. Listen to me, Shivani. All right. This is not the work of Bharatiya Janata Party. And if we talk about the Prime Minister, he is the Prime Minister of Bharat. He is not the Prime Minister of Bharatiya Janata Party. Yes,
Sure.
Bharatiya Janata Party is one political party who has always stood with the Sanatan. The only political party in this nation who has always stood with the Sanatan, and we have made ourselves very clear कि हमें आस्था पे मान है. हम तुष्टिकरण, appeasement
That is
politics
why
में नहीं
Bilkis
पड़ेंगे.
Banu
We are going to do
rapist
our
has been
part, but
allowed
we
to
are
run
not
away.
going to let
That is
Sanatan
why the
be
Bilkis
certified by
Banu
anybody.
rapist has been allowed
This
to
is
run
Bharatiya
away.
Janata Party. Who is getting invited? Who is going to come? Who is not going to come? This is not Bharatiya Janata Party's work.
Okay.
Bharatiya
Okay.
Janata Party has
Can I-
participated in the struggle. We have stood strongly with the cause. We have put this thing in our manifesto. Did they do that? Of course not.
Well, at one time they did it, but they went back on it.
didn't.
I don't know what future would have been, what our present would have been had Congress taken the other route. But Tehseen, very quickly, I want to go across to Professor Geeta also. You know,
Yeah.
you can put it
No,
whichever
let her-
way you want. No, Tehseen, let's be fair. You can put it whichever way you want. In modern post-independent history, organizations like the RSS, VHP, many akhadas, plus the BJP post its inception, are the ones who have wholeheartedly supported this cause. Today, you may not like the fact that this movement is associated with them, but that's the reality. At least the Congress should not begrudge this. The Congress at every opportune time tried to derail this movement.
I don't think so. I actually think the BJP derailed it, and I will get into more details of that. But because the BJP spokesperson spoke about Sanatan Dharma, and I was on your show when I criticized Udaynidhi Stalin for his filth that he used against Sanatan Dharma, and you gave me that opportunity. The same Udaynidhi Stalin, a sports minister of a state, was doing Man Ki Baat in Chai Pe Charcha with the Prime Minister, and
So
last year
what?
pictures were being released. I'll tell you. Just allow me. And PMO was releasing it. If you are so against it, you shouldn't have met him. He could have met
No,
PMO.
but the
given
Prime
invite.
Minister has
Why?
official duties.
Why?
He has to do.
How
Come
many-
on, that's
how
a
many-
silly
Correct.
argument.
I'll
He
answer
can't
that.
boycott.
No, it's not.
He can't boycott an
I'll
elected
answer it.
minister of a state government.
No,
Come on,
I'll
Tehseen.
answer it.
Regardless
I
of
knew
his
that
personal
question, sir.
opinion.
I'll answer it. If it was, how many sports ministers the Prime Minister met? Show me one more image.
I don't know what you're implying, but that's irrelevant to what I'm discussing. One second, Professor Geeta Bhatt has not spoken.
I'll tell you what I'm implying. The BJP is just a party that uses Sanatan and Hinduism for politics. It does not believe in any of these.
But can I just
They
pose a
derailed
different
everything.
question to Professor Geeta Bhatt? You know, you may put it in any which way. The reality is that whether it's because of who is invited, not invited, who is helming the event, who is sending the invites, etc., PM's presence or not, there are certain sections in India and in Indian politics and intellectual society who have opposed the very concept of a Ram Mandir, the demand for a Ram Mandir. They continue to till today, delegitimize the construction of the Ram temple. Those are not the people who are ever going to celebrate it. So what do we make of the opposition that they're mounting today?
Well, Shivani, yes, you are very much right. And when the court case was being fought for Ram Janmabhoomi in the Allahabad High Court, and at that time also all the we know D.N. Jha, and there are many such the historians who had gone there, and they had in fact given their statements over there and trying to prove it. Some of them who did not even know Sanskrit actually were going there and giving the representation.
Yes.
And we have seen that how even today there are such people. But politically, you see, this was one occasion, Shivani, where the Congress party and the other opposition parties, they could have risen above their political stand, because this momentous occasion is coming after nearly 500 years, and this is the occasion in which the participation of nearly, you can say, 12.5 crore individuals have donated for construction of this Ram temple.
Yeah.
And that means that if you see that if in terms of families, it has touched almost 65 crore people. So such a large number of Indians, they have Bharatiyas, they have committed and have faith in the building of this Ram temple. What would have happened if the political parties, why they could not have come out of their very narrow-minded agenda of just appeasement politics? This is nothing else but, and I would like just take 10 seconds here to, in case, why is it that Congress party took 2 weeks to refuse the invitation? When the invitation was given at that time, it was, there was also a thanks given by the Congress party that they have received an invitation, that we will
Right.
respond. They took 2 weeks to actually, they are the ones who are actually trying to politicize. They try to politically weigh whether going to the
Why
Pran
did it take
Pratishtha
so
is
long?
going to help
if
them
it was an
politically
easy
or
decision.
not.
Absolutely, I
Right,
think that's a
because
fair argument to make. Now, one thing is very clear: this judgment, this temple is becoming a reality after a Supreme Court judgment, not a paisa of the government being used, all donations, and yet, if people cannot come to terms with the fact that this is now a reality and somehow, they continue to use any kind of means, any kind of excuses to bring down the honor of the event or the temple itself, then it is for them to decide. I've run out of time. I do thank all of you for joining us. Coming up after a very short break, we get you the exclusive look inside Ram Temple with none other than the chairman of the construction panel, Nripendra Misra, who will tell us many facets of what's gone into the making of the Ram Temple. Stay tuned.
Co-powered by
This morning was that an eruption started very close to Grindavik, which is very serious. We have been following the development of the rupture since, and actually the barriers that we have been building, even though they are not finished, we have seen that they are actually providing some protection for the town, so the lava has changed its direction. But then around noon we had a new shock when a fissure opened within the town, and there is lava flowing up from that fissure. Already several houses have gone under lava, so it's a very serious situation we're faced with here right now. The government is meeting tomorrow, and we will decide on continued support for the people of Grindavik, housing support, salary support. We need to put a lot of extra efforts in finding more housing, suitable housing for the people in Grindavik, because many of them are really in unacceptable conditions and have been since November. Even though we have been buying up apartments, we need to do a lot more. We will also provide some support for the companies in Grindavik.
We had this eruption started just before 8 o'clock this morning. It was on the area where we have been expecting it to come, but unfortunately it went a little bit more south than we had hoped for. So it went inside the barriers that we have already built, and then also about 3-4 hours later we had another opening just outside the town of Grindavik. So we have lava both running north of the barriers to the west, which is the best way for it. But we have designed the barriers to work in that way, but also to the south and getting close to the town. And then we had this fissure just outside Grindavik, and we have now lava inside the town, and some houses has burned or be buried under the lava, and it's still going quite strong into the town. So we see that the potential damage will be quite much.
It's
tough in many ways, but I am optimistic by nature, and I try to maintain optimistic. But you know, this is big. This is serious. It's basically as bad as can possibly get, although it might get even worse. Who knows? So, I mean, I'm born in this town. I actually live in the house that I'm born in, and it's a tough thought to think that this town might be over, and I would have to start all over somewhere else. But if that's the case, then that's exactly what we'll do. We always hope that, you know, the last eruption that was on the 18th of December, that was further away, and that didn't bother us at all. There was nothing to worry about, basically. So we were kind of hoping it would, you know, be coming up there or even further away from us. But the worst case scenario just happened, and that's what we're dealing with.
It's very sad. We grew up there. This is how I miss my Ollie's coffee shop. I would start the day there where the other brother is. He's running that one, and a lot of good people. It's extremely sad.
It's unbelievable. And I thought that I would never live to, you know, witness this.
It's been quiet for 800 years.
800 years. But hopefully this will only last for 1 or 2 days, like last eruption. It went up. It was very big, but the morning after it was almost over. So we'll just have to hope that this will end soon. So, yeah.
There's been a lot of anticipation of centuries really that has been building up as the Ram temple gets completed. And come January 22nd, there's going to be a row of people that is going to throng the small city of Ayodhya once again. The city itself is gearing up to be able to take the load of thousands and lakhs of people coming to take their darshan once the Ram Lala Murti is consecrated in the new Ram temple. It's been a struggle of 500 years to see the Ram temple being constructed at the very Ram Janmasthan where I am standing today. And it's been litigation of over 70 years to have this dream come true for over 80 crore Indians, but many more devotees across the world. The Ram temple is finally a reality. With that, it marks a seminal moment in Indian Indic civilization, because this is the first of those many struggles that has come to fruition when it comes to erasing the markers of invaders and reclaiming the rightful spot of Lord Ram for his temple. On January 22, 2024, the Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be coming here for the first big milestone as far as this Ram temple is concerned, which is the consecration ceremony. There is already a Ram Lala Virajman in a makeshift temple. Not just that Ram Lala, but a new Murti of Ram Lala will be consecrated at this Ram temple. From here on, those are the two Swarups of Ram Lala that will be prayed to by devotees. And from the very next day forward, the doors of the new Ram temple will be thrown open to thousands, possibly lakhs of devotees who are waiting very eagerly to do their first darshan. Today we have a very special guest, the chairman of the Ram Janmabhoomi Ram Temple Trust, Nripendra Misra, joining us, who was entrusted the very difficult task to ensure that not just that the Ram Temple is built with good deadlines in mind on time, but also that it is built to specifications of those concerned, of those in the know, and those who have the knowledge of how the Ram Temple should be built. We'll speak to Nripendra Misra, who will give us more information about not just the January 22 program, but also what to expect if you come next to the Ram Temple.
On 22nd, the consecration takes place, which is right here. You walk straight. There is a sanctum sanctorum. We will have chance to go there. And there, the program will start around 12 o'clock when the Prime Minister arrives. Of course, the guests will be here, right in front.
Where we are
yes,
right now.
They will be there. At the ground level.
On the stairs that just
below
this
the
level
stairs.
as well. And this is the main entry of the
This
temple.
is the main entry and you are standing on the eastern gate, which is the entrance of the temple. And then of course the Prime Minister enters and he goes there for the prayer and the final about 2 hours of religious functions. The devotees would come from this Parkota.
Right.
Parkota, for better understanding, is a place which is given to the devotee for parikrama.
Right.
So this construction will go round the temple.
Like a corridor.
And it is about 795 meters going to be. This is not a simple corridor. There is a thought process to it. There is outer wall and the inner side, it is open towards the temple. So anybody doing parikrama, of course, will be seeing the temple.
Yes.
The outer wall provides, in a way, the safety, the security for the temple, because no one then can enter. So in a way, its all entry is blocked from all the fronts except the eastern entry here. Now on the wall which is being created, each wall is in the form of a panel. The panel will have a bronze mural. That mural is roughly about 6 feet by 4 feet. And what is going to be the story there? I'm covering it right in the beginning so that one can understand the significance of Parkota. It will display the ethical values of Ram and how that became relevant to those who pursued it, those who adopted it, those who became the part and parcel of the thought process of Maryada Purushottam.
And the construction of this Parkota is actually more complex than the temple. Would that be fair to say?
Well, it's costlier than the temple.
Costlier than the temple.
May not be complex that much because the complexity we learned here. Later on, of course, that got repeated because whatever construction technology was adopted here has been adopted there. But just to get the idea, this eastern entrance gets connected immediately. There is a road which is called Ram Mandir Marg. So there is a road going and that opens to the main road. So we are talking about 800 meters of walk for the devotee, entering from this Parkota and then climbing up. So at the moment there is a temporary place where the god is located. So he really comes here, from there, the Chal Murti, Utsav Murti, which is there at the moment, That murti will come on that day, on 22nd. And then the achal, which is being carved,
the new
murti, that will be installed here. So after 22nd, the devotees naturally must have darshan. So 23rd
You don't want
is the
them
day.
to wait till the entire construction is
No,
over.
no. At the moment they are going there, they will definitely see.
Want to come.
Yeah, want to like to come when it is being the प्राण प्रतिष्ठा और consecration has taken place.
So, प्राण प्रतिष्ठा जो यहाँ पे होने वाली है 22 जनवरी को प्रधानमंत्री आ रहे हैं, उसमें एक इंटरेस्टिंग बात नृपेंद्र मिश्रा जो बता रहे हैं वो ये है कि जो रामलला की अभी जो विराजमान मूर्ति है वो तो यहाँ आएगी ही, लेकिन उसके अलावा नई मूर्तियां भी बन रही हैं और मेरे ख्याल से 3 मूर्तियां बन रही हैं जिसमें से एक का सिलेक्शन होगा। तो ऐसा क्यों किया गया है कि 2 चीजें कि एक तो 3 मूर्तियां बनेगी फिर उसमें से एक का सिलेक्शन होगा और दूसरा कि वहां से तो मूर्ति आई रही है जो विराजमान है लेकिन नई रामलला भी विराजमान होंगे।
अच्छा, आप ये सभी को आपके माध्यम से जानकारी मिल जाएगी। 3 मूर्तियां तो इसलिए थी क्योंकि जो आर्ट वर्क बना कि भगवान कैसे दिखेंगे, जो उनको विवरण दिया गया कि किस प्रकार किस उम्र की उनकी मूर्ति होनी चाहिए, किस प्रकार की किस ऊंचाई की लंबाई की होनी चाहिए, समचरण होना चाहिए मतलब एक ही लेवल पे हो, फिर अजान बाहु होना चाहिए मतलब उनके हाथ जो हैं वो लंबे हैं टिल गोइंग टू द नी. सो ऑल दोज डिस्क्रिप्शंस व्हिच आर देयर इन द रामायण of Maharshi Valmiki and later Tulsidas ji, all that was picked up to describe. But then we could not have depended on one sculptor.
Right. You wanted options.
Yeah. So the selection will be made finally. Sometime the trust will decide that which of the 3, which is being carved here only, somewhere in Ayodhya.
In Ayodhya.
Yeah. Will then be selected for the Pran Pratishtha and that Murti will come here.
So all of this complex, you're saying 3,200 crore rupees have been received.
3,250 crores.
Yeah. And you will get much more now that foreign donations are allowed. But what would be the total cost? Because this is not just the temple, mind you, for the benefit of our viewers. There is of course a parikrama parkota going all around and it's even costlier than the temple so far, right?
बिल्कुल
कितना अभी कॉस्ट आया?
अगर अंदाजन इसका 700 करोड़ है तो परकोटा जो 795 फीट में होगा वह लगभग 900 करोड़ का है.
बट ये कॉम्प्लेक्स एक्चुअली बहुत बड़ा होने वाला है. ये 71 एकड़ में एक कॉम्प्लेक्स है. तो अगर लोगों ने काशी विश्वनाथ धाम में जो रिकंस्ट्रक्शन हुआ है, जो कॉरिडोर देखा है, आप इमेजिन कर सकते हैं कि ये उससे बहुत गुना बड़ा होगा. तो इसकी कॉस्ट में फिर बहुत
ये इसमें एक तो देखिए भूमि की सीमा नहीं थी. काशी विश्वनाथ में भूमि की सीमा थी. और कुल मिलाकर के अभी जो अनुमान लगाया जा रहा है सब निर्माण कार्य लगभग 2000 करोड़ में पूरा होने की संभावना है. लेकिन ये बहुत कुछ निर्भर करेगा क्या क्या जुड़ता है. ऑडिटोरियम की बात हो रही है, म्यूजियम की बात हो रही है, ट्रस्ट ऑफिस होगा, गेस्ट हाउस होगा और एक बहुत बड़ा स्ट्रक्चर जो आपने देखा नहीं देखा तो आप कृपा करके वहाँ 1 मिनट रुक करके देख लें. वो है पिलग्रिमेज फैसिलिटेशन सेंटर, जहाँ पर कि लोगों को होल्डिंग करीब 5000 लोगों की स्पेस होगी, जहाँ पे लोग अपना सामान जमा कर सकेंगे और उसके बाद दर्शन के लिए आएंगे. और कुछ वहाँ पर अन्य सुविधाएं भी होंगी श्रद्धालुओं के लिए. तो वह भी एक बहुत बड़ा कंस्ट्रक्शन चल रहा है और वो 22 जनवरी तक पूरा हो जाएगा.
So let's go inside the temple now and Mishra sir will explain to us the intricacies of what the devotees are likely to see. First, of course, the Prime Minister and some of the seers are going to be coming on January 22nd. What is it that is going to be described, to them?
देखिए यहाँ पे जब अब हम लोग एंटर कर रहे हैं तो रफली टेम्पल का लंबाई जो है वो 390 फीट है. इसकी जो चौड़ाई है आयाम वो लगभग 300 फीट है. इसमें जब हम सीधे वॉक करते हैं तो सैंक्टम सैंक्टोरम के अलावा यहाँ पर 3 मंडप हैं. जो एक गुरु मंडप है, एक यहाँ पर रंग मंडप है
जी,
और एक यहाँ पर स्लिप हो रहा है, एक थर्ड मंडप है, और 2 साइड के मंडप मिलाकर के 5 हो जाते हैं
जी।
एक तरफ प्रार्थना मंडप होगा, एक तरफ नृत्य मंडप होगा।
अच्छा।
तो इस प्रकार से 5 मंडपों के उसमें आप वॉक करते हुए चलेंगे। ये पहला मंडप है।
ये जो हम अब पहुंच रहे हैं, ये राम जन्मभूमि मंदिर का पहला मंडप है। ऑलमोस्ट तैयार हो चुका है
जी।
यहाँ पे जो पिलर्स की जो नक्काशी वगैरह है वो सब हो चुकी है, और ये भी जो इसकी गुम्बद भी है वो भी तैयार हो चुकी है। तो इसका भी कुछ
ये रंग मंडप है।
ये रंग मंडप है, सबसे पहला मंडप।
जी हाँ।
तो इसका कुछ सिग्निफिकेंस होता है?
जी, इसका एक तरीके से उल्लास।
जी।
यू आर नाउ रीचिंग द स्टेज ऑफ व्हाट इज कॉल्ड अटमोस्ट हैप्पीनेस। हमारे आर्किटेक्ट थे, उन्होंने मंदिरों के निर्माण की एक शैली थी, नागर शैली, उसके भी हैं, उन्होंने उसे एडॉप्ट करके इसका नाम दिया।
जी।
अब इसमें जो महत्वपूर्ण चीज आप देखेंगी, यू सी द पिलर्स,
यस,
एंड
these are some of the sculptures that are there. बहुत सारी मूर्तियाँ इसमें पिलर्स में बनाई गई हैं।
ये इसका एक हिस्सा है
जी,
अपर मोस्ट।
जी।
ये आप इस तरीके से समझें कि ये इनको हम नृत्यांगना नहीं कहते हैं।
जी।
दे आर नॉट जस्ट डांसर्स, बट दे आर पावर, शक्ति। तो उसका है, ये वो हैं जो भगवान के अराइवल पर खुशियाँ मना रही हैं।
जी। मैं कोशिश करूंगी कि मेरे जो वीजे हैं वो ज़रा दिखाएं कि इसकी जो पूरी गुम्बद है वो तैयार हो गई है और उस पर सारी नक्काशी हो चुकी है। ये फर्स्ट मंडप है राम टेम्पल का, और यहाँ पे पूरी तैयारी हो चुकी है। कुछ कुछ मूर्तियाँ अभी भी बन रही हैं जिसकी शिल्पकारी अभी होगी। जैसे कि मेरे साथ में यहाँ पैटर्न बना हुआ है, कुछ कुछ अभी थोड़ा सा हो गया है, इसको पूरा नक्काशा नहीं गया है और थोड़ी सी बची है। तो ये सारा काम अभी ऑब्वियसली ख़त्म किया जाएगा क्योंकि थोड़ा बहुत काम बचा है यहाँ फर्स्ट मंडप में भी। सो ओवरऑल हाउ मेनी वर्कर्स डू यू थिंक हैव वर्कड ओवर द कंस्ट्रक्शन ऑफ दिस टेम्पल सो फार?
Well, at the moment there are about 2,500 people who are working.
Okay. And I believe it's day and night construction.
Oh yes, yes.
It's all 3 shifts.
Oh yes, and that also, to be honest, we keep reviewing it. It is not adequate.
Not adequate.
Yeah, if we have to finish. By the way, you may like to know that this stair takes you to the first floor.
First floor.
Yeah.
And this mandap is not closing on the first floor. Will this have a height going up to the 3rd floor?
This will go up to the 2nd floor.
Okay.
Yeah, so first floor and 2nd floor. Now you are actually last but one. After this you will go to the Sanctum Sanctorum.
Right. So what is this? This is also the 3rd mandap.
Yeah, this is Guru Mandap.
This is
you
Guru
have
Mandap.
really entered Guru Mandap.
Okay. And this looks really majestic.
Yeah, and this will go up to another 2 stories,
Right.
first and 2nd floor. To ensure that the safety of the devotees,
You've covered it.
Covered it, so that the work will go on.
Right.
While the devotees will make a queue and go.
So this is some marble floor work that is here. So clearly a lot of attention is being paid to the inlay work and the marble work that is on the floor of the temple as well.
This is the exactly, you will have the feel how the entire flooring will come, in which there will be this kind of a art design in the center. There will be border on the sides. लोगों को कुछ confusion सा होता है कि जो निर्माण है वो पूरा हो गया।
जी जी जी।
तो ये नहीं है, भूतल का निर्माण पूरा हो जाएगा।
जी।
फर्स्ट फ्लोर और 2nd फ्लोर का निर्माण,
और जो पूरा कॉम्प्लेक्स है वो भी बनता रहेगा।
तो वो 2 फेज में है। पूरा मंदिर दिसंबर 2024 में हो जाएगा। श्रद्धालु यहाँ तक आएगा।
जी।
यहाँ से उसके भगवान के दर्शन होंगे।
तो अब हम 3 मंडप पार करके यहाँ पर पहुँच गए हैं और अब आप देख सकते हैं कि ये गर्भगृह है। दिस इज द सैंक्टम सैंक्टोरियम एंड आई कैन ऑलरेडी सी दैट इट्स लुकिंग रियली ग्रैंड एंड फैसिनेटिंग बिकॉज दिस इज स्टोन टिल हियर बट बियॉन्ड that is marble on the walls,
yes,
right?
Yes.
So that is all white marble, संगमरमर का ये मार्बल है जो इंडिया का बहुत फेमस है और मैं देख रही हूँ कि एक पेडेस्टल भी तैयार हो चुका है जी। तो उस पेडेस्टल पे उस हाइट के बाद अब रामलला की मूर्ति लगेगी।
बिल्कुल आपने सही गेस किया, ये वही स्थान है जो कि प्रधानमंत्री जी ने
जहाँ पे
5 अगस्त 2020 को एक शुभारंभ का पूजन किया था।
जी।
उसके बाद निर्माण कार्य हुआ।
तो मैं ये देख रही हूँ मिश्रा जी की ये कुछ ऑक्टागोनल टाइप शेप लग रही है, इसका कोई सिग्निफिकेंस होता है? ये जो गर्भगृह का जो डिजाइन है इस पे क्या विचार हुआ था?
विचार तो काफी हुआ कि स्क्वायर हो, ऑक्टागोनल हो। अंत में श्रद्धालु को ध्यान में रखा गया
जी।
एक चैलेंज तो यह था कि वास्तु और नागर शैली में यह कहा जाता था कि ये जो पार्ट है जो खुलेगा भगवान के दर्शन के लिए, यहाँ पर सोने के 2 द्वार लगेंगे, तो इसकी इतनी भी चौड़ाई वो बहुत समझते थे।
अच्छा।
हाँ, आप अगर ध्यान करें तो अधिकांश मंदिरों में जो छोटा होता है
जी।
तो उनको इस पर आपत्ति थी कि ये आप बहुत लंबा कर रहे हैं, संभवतः 12 फीट है। और उसके बाद एक दूसरा चैलेंज था कि इसको हम इस प्रकार से सपोर्ट दें कि स्टोन के वेट को ये सस्टेन कर सके।
जी बिल्कुल।
जो कि CBRI को देखना था, सेंट्रल बिल्डिंग रिसर्च इंस्टीट्यूट को। तो उन्होंने देखने के बाद यह अपनी स्वीकृति दी कि आप इतना कर सकते हैं, इससे ज़्यादा करेंगे तो प्रॉब्लम होगी सस्टेनेबिलिटी की। इसके ऊपर आप अभी देख नहीं सकेंगी, वो विष्णु जी का है और वो एक तरीके से समुद्र मंथन की कहानी है जिसमें हर एक फिर 9 ग्रहों को दिखाया जा रहा है। फिर यहाँ पर 2 द्वारपाल होंगे जिनका नाम जय और विजय होता है। अच्छा। वो यहाँ पर लगेंगे। अच्छा। और फिर साइड में हनुमान जी और गणेश जी की मूर्ति होगी। ये जो स्थान है भगवान का जिसको हम सभी विश्वास करते हैं कि यहाँ पर भगवान राम
जन्मे
प्रकट हुए। तो इस स्थान को 2 मूर्तियों के साथ रखा जाएगा, इसीलिए ये आप देखेंगे लेवल्स हैं।
जी।
नीचे वाले लेवल पे वहाँ जो वर्तमान में मंदिर है वो यहाँ पर आएगा
जी।
और उसके ऊपर
जो नई मूर्ति
है वो है और वह मूर्ति 51 इंच की बनेगी
जी।
तो इस प्रकार से एक कैलकुलेटेड हाइट में लगभग 71 इंच की हाइट पे हो, जिससे कि वह इधर से दिखाई भी दे सके। और दूसरा एक महत्वपूर्ण चीज़ ये है कि राम नवमी के दिन भगवान के माथे पर सूर्य किरण पड़नी चाहिए
ऊपर से।
हाँ, तो वो सूर्य किरण कैसे आए यह कार्य CBRI और एस्ट्रोनॉमिकल इंस्टीट्यूट पुणे ने किया।
तो वो सूर्य किरण ऊपर से आएगी या सामने से?
नहीं,
ऊपर से आएगी।
ऊपर शिखर से एपर्चर होगा, आएगी और आने के बाद वो रिफ्लेक्ट होगी
और उनके माथे पे रिफ्लेक्ट की जाएगी
और फिर वो आएगी।
चलिए रामनवमी पे ये भी जब देखेंगे लोग हर रामनवमी में ये भी देखा करेंगे।
से वो बड़ा ही महत्वपूर्ण क्षण होगा
जी।
और हम लोगों को बड़ा ध्यान रखना है क्योंकि बहुत संख्या में लोग चाहेंगे कि उसी समय रहें।
हाँ, रामनवमी के दिन वो देखने आएंगे कि जिस समय
हटे नहीं।
तो किस समय होगी ये सूर्य किरण?
वो रामनवमी के दिन 12 बजे दिन
12 बजे दोपहर में उनके माथे पे सूर्य किरण पड़ेगी। construction of the Ram temple in itself is a huge moment for Indian civilization. But the construction of the Ram temple is not just that. It is also a complete transformation for the city of Ayodhya. From an airport to the expansion of the railway junction, to broadening of roads and highways, to a lot of the other spots which devotees come to in Ayodhya being beautified. There's a lot of work, as many as 200 big and small projects that are ongoing in Ayodhya in preparation for the devotees, lakhs of whom that will come once the Ram temple throws its doors open. To begin with, that is going to happen on the 23rd of January 2024. But of course, as the entire temple and the temple complex gets readied, it will be able to take a lot more devotees, and that number will always be ever expanding, not just from UP, not just from India, but from across the world. So this is a big challenge for the city of Ayodhya too, and the current government of Uttar Pradesh too, as much as it's the challenge to ready the Ram temple on time and to throw open its doors. The challenge for the city will be to be able to handle that kind of a load that will be coming into Ayodhya. With camera person Rajesh Bhardwaj in Ayodhya, Shivani Gupta, CNN News 18.
Dear viewers, my dear viewers, for days altogether it has been drilled into you, both the pious and the not so devout, that the Pran Pratishtha of the Ram Lalla idol in the Garbhagriha, or the sanctum sanctorum of the still incomplete Ram Mandir, is a great defilement of all our customs, Hindu customs and rituals, an act of extreme impiety. Why? Because an idol can only supposedly be installed when the entire temple construction is complete. We are told the reason the Pran Pratishtha is happening now and not after the temple has a roof and a kalash is because of Prime Minister Modi's fear of electoral failure. That the Prime Minister is convinced that he is losing the election, or he is not going to do as well as he has done in previous iterations, and that he wants to use the Ram Mandir as a political crutch to consolidate Hindu votes, even if that means disrespecting ancient Hindu customs, defiling Hindu traditions. This is what we are being told. For this unimpaired insight, viewers, the defenders of the Hindu